Bronwyn and Arondir. I enjoyed this relationship. Their story got lost because of the sheer number of storylines and characters in Season 1 of Rings of Power, and their story is complex, so it needed more screen time than it was given. I understand that Season 1 was just 8 episodes, but the show could have cut irrelevant scenes and highlighted the factors in this relationship that made it so important to showing how Sauron deceived everyone to gain power over Middle-earth. Their relationship was pivotal to understanding that. Arondir is an elf, a soldier tasked with the thankless task of guarding the Southlands. The Southlanders are descended from people who sided with Morgoth during the Wars of the First Age. Rings of Power takes place during the Second Age. And the question becomes, can the Southlanders learn the lessons of the past and choose good over evil this time, or will they end up serving Sauron as they used to serve Morgoth? The question contains a huge generalization because it paints every Southlander with the same brush. It's stereotyping. And Bronwyn says she knows what some of the elves are thinking, that the Southlanders were born evil and that it's not just a stereotype. Bronwyn emerges in the Southlands as a leader. The actress who played her, Nazanin Boniadi, left the show at the end of Season 1, but instead of recasting Bronwyn for Season 2, they killed off the character, and this led to some problems dramatically. Bronwyn was the female leader of a tribe that couldn't live down what their ancestors did. They had to fight against stereotypes of Southlanders as backstabbers and cowards. They sided with Morgoth, let's not forget that. So no surprise that Sauron, when he returns to Middle-earth, assumes a fake identity as the long-lost King of the Southlands. He says his name is Halbrand. He says he will redeem the Southlands from its evil past, and, by the way, thanks Bronwyn, I'll take it from here. She's deposed as leader without anyone voicing opposition. As Galadriel finds out later from searching the archives, there is no King of the Southlands. Not anymore. That line was broken. So Galadriel's actions here tell us a lot. Like every other character in the series, she seems to have internalized the myth of a great king who can redeem the land, and so she was taken in by Sauron's deception, like the Southlanders were. When Halbrand shows up at Galadriel's side to help defeat the orcs, they accept Halbrand as their king, no questions asked. Wait a minute, wasn't that line broken? Heck if we know, he looks like a king, doesn't he? And with that, Bronwyn is cast aside. She's the woman who had killed an orc and arrived in town with its head to show proof that the orcs were gathering. Because of her actions, the townsfolk managed to hold off the orcs until Galadriel arrived with soldiers. Arguably, it was Bronwyn who saved them with the early warning. And Arondir put his thumb on the scale for the Southlands by using his elf fighting skills to keep the orcs at bay. In Season 1, Bronwyn and Arondir are in love. Bronwyn's son Theo has his ears covered up with a convenient hairstyle. He may have elf ears. Maybe they had to hide the birth of a child because prejudice against Southlanders was so pervasive. It was this type of bias, which could be unconscious bias, that allowed Sauron to take advantage by presenting himself in a fair form, looking very much like a king. Bronwyn and Arondir rejected bias, which was extreme in both their cultures. The elves view Southlanders as irredeemable, and Southlanders view the elves as oppressors. And more insidious than that, the Southlanders often viewed themselves as irredeemable, having internalized the prejudice of the elves. And the elves viewed themselves as perfect, believing their own hype, which set them up for defeat at the Battle of Eregion at the end of Season 2. In Season 1, the relationship between Bronwyn and Arondir was used to highlight the harmful impacts of unconscious bias and internalized prejudice, the very things that allowed Sauron to gain power over Middle-earth. Season 2 continues that story, with Sauron deceiving everyone in sight, but the message wasn't as strong in Season 2 because there was no Bronwyn and Arondir fighting against unconscious bias to keep their love alive. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.